Probably the most controversial dress I've ever worn. Somebody called it extremely vulgar, and then I basically called the person who said it was a vulgar dress sexist, and there was drama. Okay, Met Gala 2019. The theme was camp. I went for a Cher dress that was designed by Peter Dundas, very inspired by different looks from Cher. The headpiece was like kind of my favorite part, but honestly, it's one of my most favorite dresses I've ever worn. I was so nervous going into it because the Met's one of those things where, you know, I had like my open stomach and it's like the carpet is kind of crazy and there's a million people and I was really nervous, but I still really, really love it. The hair, the makeup, everything kind of worked. Ooh, another custom look for Cannes. This was my first red carpet at Cannes. Again, so nervous. I had actually been fitted on a boat and was seasick while they were fitting me. So I hadn't really decided whether I even felt good or anything. And then all of a sudden I was like on this massive carpet with a million people screaming, Emily, 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 but like with a French accent. But I really love that look. I would still rate that as a high, one of my faves. Okay, this one's very recent. I went to the Harper's BAZAAR Icons party. That's a vintage Jean Paul Gaultier dress that Sarah Jessica Parker famously wore in Sex and the City. And I didn't even realize quite like what a thing it would be that I got to wear the newspaper print, but I really was obsessed and I had an Elia coat on that was a little warm for the evening. And those are boots by Provenza. And it ended up being like a fun girls' night. I went to dinner after and yeah, I love that look. Ooh, okay, this look is a little controversial because it was one of my bikini tops from my line in a Murata, and I decided to style it as a shirt. But I think I made it still chic. It's like we got a long coat with it, some pants. It's kind of like a cool suit. It was before everyone was doing that and like tying around the body thing, and that's still one of our best-selling suits, the Las Olas, so. Okay, this look, I had just had my son Sly and I was going to a basketball game and I think it was like right before my 30th birthday and I just like hadn't really stepped out in a while. I think it was beginning of June, I had my son in March, but I was just kind of coming out of that haze of the first few months of having a newborn and I just went for it. This is a Prada set, got a little ball cap to keep it sporty for the basketball game and some Vans, but yeah, it was commitment. It's a bra, so I still like it. I just don't know if I would wear it like tomorrow. Probably the most controversial dress I've ever worn. This caused I had no idea what a scene this was caused. It was a Julian McDonald dress. I can't remember, somebody called it extremely vulgar and like it became this huge like controversy on the internet and some of my agents were mad at me because they thought it was too sexy and whatever and I just like I know this sounds whatever, but I was in my 20s and I just like hadn't registered that it was so sexy because there is a panel in the middle, but it looks like there isn't. And yeah, it caused this whole thing. And then I basically called the person who said it was a vulgar dress sexist and there was drama. And I still like that dress. I still think I look great. I think I was basically like called out for wanting attention, which I think is interesting because you go to red carpets for attention, basically. Essentially, it's part of your job as a celebrity. So yeah, controversial dress. I personally still stand behind it. So yeah, I like that look. Okay, relatively recently, this was during my book press tour and I was just wearing so many looks. And I just wanted to go kind of simple. I have been wearing those cowboy boots a lot recently. They're actually from Zara. I think it's just like a Julia Roberts kind of 90s inspired thing. And sometimes keeping it simple is like the best thing to do. She was in a mood when I got dressed on a Tuesday morning and just chose a sheer dress. But I actually love this look. I was going to my office and it was very hot and I hadn't worn that dress yet and I committed to it. Again, ladies, wear whatever the hell you want.